Welcome back to the channel, guys. In this video, we're going to be replacing a super important belt on our 5th gen 4Runner. This belt basically runs all of our accessories, our air conditioning, our alternator, our water pump, our fan, our power steering. It's super important. We're going to be replacing the Serpentine belt, and I'm also going to show you a way that you can save some money on this belt. All right, so you want to replace the Serpentine belt on your 5th gen 4Runner every 100,000 miles. That is the recommended change interval, but yours could wear out sooner. If you're doing off-roading and that sort of thing, debris is known to get in there and wear them out earlier or prematurely. Sometimes they can actually snap on the trail as well. So if you do change out the Serpentine belt on your 5th gen 4Runner and your other one is still good, basically store it in the back, keep it 14 mil with you, and then you can change it on the trail. You could also use it for your friends if they're driving Tacomas or FJ Cruisers. If you're hearing a squealing sound coming from your 4Runner or from your Tacoma or FJ, it could be related to the belt, or it could be the tensioners or idler pulleys. If those are not the issue, you might want to look at the accessories. It might be your alternator, it could be your water pump that's causing the issue. But it is always good to stay on top of it and replace this belt. What I discovered though is that the Toyota branded belt isn't actually made by Toyota. It is made by Bando, a company from the United States. I'll leave a part number in the description below. It is a US part, and you can get it cheaper if you go to, say, Napa or something like that. So I'll give you the part number for the Bando belt, which is exactly the same as the Toyota belt. Toyota's basically just given their own part number. So if you do go to the dealership to get this, expect to pay a premium on it. Replacing the belt is quite easy. Let's jump into it and I'll show you how to replace this belt. All right, so here's everything you'll need to do the job. We have our belt here. This is our Toyota belt, which is actually just a Bando, a US made Bando branded belt, part number 7PK2150. Toyota's also stamped their part number on here, but that is a Bando belt. You could save money. I'll leave a link in the description to where you could find this belt, you know, for a little bit more, free shipping to your house, or you could get this from Napa. You're gonna wanna know the direction of how your belt feeds through all of the pumps. I'll put this up on the screen here just now for a reference so you can go back and use it if you need to. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our 14 mil. Mine is short, so I do have a cheater bar for mine. You'd want a 14 mil, a long wrench or ratchet. You're gonna go onto your tensioner, which will be here. It'll just be near the alternator next to the water pump. You're gonna put this on, you're gonna turn it counterclockwise. That's gonna remove the tension from the belt and allow you to pull it off of the different pulleys and then remove the belt. So let's jump into that now and I'll show you how that's done. All right, so the first step is to pop your hood from the interior of the vehicle, come out, lift your hood up, and remove the plastic cover off your engine, lift it directly up and then pull it out towards you. All right, so looking under the engine bay here, in the middle we have our water pump, we have our idler, number 2, and then next to that we have our alternator. So under our idler, our number 2 idler, a little bit to the left down here is our tensioner. So this is what we're gonna wanna put our 14 millimeter on, and we're gonna turn that counterclockwise, which will relieve tension. The easiest thing to do is to slide this belt from under this idler. The reason why is because there's no ribs on the edge of this, so it will actually slide off quite easily. So let's do that now. So you do want this kind of coming up in the middle here, just because you're gonna wanna get your bar on there. So just slide the bar on. Great, keep a little tension on it. Turn it to the left. Actually, I'll go a little bit. Let this click once, there we go. There we go, perfect. There we go, we got it off. So as you can see, it slipped off our alternator here and pretty much all of our pulleys. So the belt is loose, just kind of shake it around, reach your hand down and just get it off of all of the different accessories. All right, so eventually you'll get it loose like this, where you can just kind of pull it up. Here's our whole belt. It's off of all of our pulleys, but it is stuck on our fan here. We can't get it off. We have to basically feed it in front of our fan. All right, so what I'm gonna do is take this belt, feed it over that fan blade like that, start spinning it around, and just continue to tuck this belt in over these blades, like that. And voila, we got it out. All right, and yeah, just pull it out like that. All right, so you're gonna wanna compare your new belt to your old belt, but do note that your new belt will be slightly smaller than your old belt. Your old belt with the tension and heat and movement will have stretched out a little bit, making it a bit larger, but just confirm that they are about the same. All right, so we need to get our new belt in here, so we wanna feed our new belt, the bottom of it, around the bottom of this fan. So our bottom comes out here and our top is up here. So let's take this. We want the ribbed part, obviously facing inwards, and we'll just feed it over this fan. It's actually not too hard to do. It looks intimidating, but the fan really doesn't go in that far. Move it a little bit, and perfect. So we got it around the fan there. So now we can start feeding it over all of our little pulleys. All right, so it is difficult to show you on camera how to feed the belt through, so I'll just kind of give you a demonstration here on how I did it. Make sure you take off, watches or jewelry. It is pretty tight in there. You don't want stuff getting caught. A long sleeve might be good because it is pretty dirty. But what I did is I started at the top. I kind of pushed it under all the hoses, got it on top of that water pump, got it around the power steering pump. I created a bit of a loop like this, and I managed to feed that loop over the tensioner here. And then the rest of it will kind of just fall into place. I will show you how to come in from the bottom. You can take off your skid plate, look up from the bottom, and it will give you a better angle on how to tuck it on top of this idler number 2 and this other idler number 1. And then everything will just kind of slide in. You will be using your fingertips just to kind of get it over the ribs on the edges of this power steering pump, the alternator, and the AC compressor, just to get it in place on those pulleys. All right, so if you are struggling here, you can come from the bottom of the vehicle, just take off your skid plate, and you will get another angle. Here you can see your crankshaft. Another idler is just up there. You can see our power steering pump up there. So it'll help you just kind of feed the belt through. If you're struggling from the top, you can come from the bottom just to help yourself. All right, so I got the belt through all of the pulleys except for our idler here and our alternator. It is on the tensioner, so what we'll do is we'll release the tension using the 14 mil and the cheater bar, and then we'll try to get it under those 2 pulleys. And then as soon as we do that, we are all set. Let's do that now. All right, so while the cheater bar does help you gain leverage and turn that tensioner, the bar itself is a bit too long and does contact some of the hoses. This makes it difficult to turn the tensioner far enough to put enough slack into the belt. I did take the bar away at one point and just use the ratchet on its own. This allowed me to turn the tensioner far enough to gain enough slack to get it on that idler and on that alternator. All right, it is on. So what you want to do now is just confirm, look at it, follow this, make sure that everything is lining up properly and it looks correct before you start the vehicle. All right, guys, so as you can see, replacing the Serpentine belt on the 5th-gen 4Runner isn't that difficult to do. The hardest part is just getting your hands down there and feeding the belt through all those different pulleys and getting it behind that fan. If you guys found this video useful, please like and subscribe. I hope to come up with a lot more videos, and I always appreciate your guys' support. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye now.